hope that you are doing well. Uh, Tristan and I have both come down with a very mild sort of flu where we had almost no symptoms, except low energy level, and my brain is still a little fuzzy. Uh, so I'm going to probably do a slightly shorter stream today. And also I'm going to stick to easier puzzles while my brain defuzzes. So don't mind me if I try and go for the easy stuff. Alrighty, so we have here a vanilla thermo. I don't know how long it's been since I did a vanilla thermo, but yeah, definitely it's sixth season around here for sure. Uh, we got like 1,000,006 students and everything. And conveniently, this coming week is finals week, so I get a little bit of time off after this, which I'm looking forward to. So I at least don't have to do anything arduous for that. So the way these work, if you have not seen them, is that you have to put the digits strictly increasing along the thermos. Oh, this is the one that Simoned with a subscriber. That's cool. So the sort of game that I see here is that these 3 digits have to go into this box. And the places where these 3 digits can go are only those. And what I'm curious of is if we really can put these digits there. I think we probably can, although only if we're very careful. So I think this thermo is long enough that I'm going to good lift it. So this could be as high as 4. So, oops, my keypad is off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this number is that. Just in terms of, basically the way I think about this is the smallest number that could go on these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the biggest number that could go on these is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And so that gives you these candidates for this so far. But yeah, there's no reason this couldn't be a 6 or 7, for example. This is the same. Yeah, I can also do the same thing for this one. This one intrigues me less because this one doesn't poke into the box with this one, which I assume is going to be, I guess we have a very symmetrical setup over here. I hadn't really thought about where these 3 digits went in this box, but it is a somewhat similar setup. So, but I might as well do the, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Might as well do the same thing, but yeah, the 3 digits here, they also have to go in these 3 cells down here. Okay, so here's the question I have is there something wrong with this being roped? So that is to say, is it a problem if these 3 digits are here? I guess maybe that's not even what I really want to prove. I guess the thing I really want to prove is I really want to prove that these 3 digits aren't here, actually, is what I want to prove. Because it would be way more interesting if it turned out that this digit had to go there. So, like, I want to say if these 3 go here, it's broken for some reason, but I can't imagine what that reason would be. I don't think we quite know that there's roping. Yet, Laura, we could. So that's sort of like one possibility is that actually these, if this cell isn't green, then we get all of this, and then we sort of get the full Neapolitan ice cream arrangement. Let's see. Yeah, it looks very possible. I agree. Something like where does 1 go in this row is a little bit restricted. And where does 9 go in this column is a little bit restricted. Okay, and it's not just one, right? Yeah, so like where are 1 and 2 in this? In this row gets a little bit dicey. Yeah, I guess that's what I should really be thinking about is where did these two cells go in this row? That's the right way to say it. So these two cells in row 8 have to go in here, and likewise symmetrically, these two cells in column 2 have to go here. So somehow that's got to be, I think, the key is that we've got this sort of crisscrossing of this pattern. Now, I know that these are each at least 4. So I guess the point is these are each at least 4. And therefore, this cell is at least 4. Is what I am going to conclude from that. Because if this cell isn't at least 4, then this cell certainly isn't at least 4, and then both the purples would have to go here. So this is at least 4. However, by the same argument, this cell is at most 6. And so if this cell is at most 6, then both of these are at most 6. That means 2 of these digits need to be at most 6. That means this digit needs to be at most 6, or it doesn't work. So this is certainly a 4, 5, or 6. Let's see. DWeb says 6 doesn't actually work. Well, this can't be 6. This could be 5, though. This is the thing I was saying could be 6. So certainly this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is certainly from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for whatever that is worth. So DWeb is saying this can't be 5. Because if this is 5, then... yeah, then we've got sort of 2 of 5 and 6 over here. The 7, 8, 9 over here. No, I don't. I still, yeah, I think that's still not quite right. I think that still just barely works. The thing that's really suspicious is that this 1, 2, 3, 4 has to go somewhere. And I kind of suspect from Jay Dyer's point that this is going to go here. Except that wouldn't work because then this would have to go there. But this is interesting even if it goes here. But wherever it goes, these two cells are going to really screw things up. Yeah, I'm still recovering from a bit of flu, so my brain is not quite at peak. So we're sticking to easy puzzles today for my brain, Selena. Hey, USF. Oh, thank you for the donation. Let's get you a donation dance. Thank you, Zach, and thank you, ELSF. Greatly appreciated. Six where would make too many 7, 8, 9s in row 8. Because if this is a 6, then that could be a 6, and this could be whatever that is, and that's not too many 7, 8, 9s. If this is a 6, it's too many. Because if this is a 6, then we're saying assuredly this is at least 6. Got it. Yeah. So that makes sense. So if this is 6, then we know this cell is at least 6 because 2 of these are green. So if this is a 6, this cell's at least 6. But that does then put way too many 7, 8, 9s. There you go. Okay, so this can't be a 6. And I bet it can't be a 4 either for the same reason. Because if this is a 4, it means that this cell is at most 4. And that's too many 1, 2, 3s in this column. So this is a 5. And so we can bring out Zach for the 5 dance. Ba-boop-ba-doop. Whoa! Ba-doop-ba-doop. Wah! Ba-doop-ba-doop. Wee! Ba-doop-ba-doop. 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 Wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9. So this number here, therefore, is at least 5. So these are also from 6, 7, 8, 9, is what we're saying. And I can improve that pencil mark if I want, but let me do it this way. This number here is at... Sorry, this number here, I keep mentally flipping this around. This number here is at most 5, and hence these are from 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Okay, so I wanted to draw out the quads first. And then once I've drawn out the quads, then I can, of course, use this for good living magic. So this is at most 4. So we can sort of do that. And so 6, 9, 8, 9. Okay, and so now Jay Dyer has said that that cell goes there, so they can be ketchuped. Of course, it's not a surprise that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, because of course we know that these are all 1, 2, 3, 4s. And likewise, we know that these are all 6, 7, 8, 9s, but we actually can do some of our ketchuping. Right. So row 8, column 1, the point is it's not green because it's that digit. Got it. Okay, so yeah, so this color-wise is not that, and likewise, that digit goes there, so it's not purple. And so 5 is both green and purple, and this cell is purple. We get that. Okay, so the purple digits, therefore, have to be 4 and 5. And this has to be 5 and 6, or it doesn't work, right? I don't think this can be anything but 4, right? Because it's purple. So I think this is 4, 5, and this is 5, 6. And that lets us fill in the rest of that, and fill in the rest of that. And so that's a 4, that's a 6. This is not a 4, this is not a 6, this isn't a 4, one of those is a 4. Okay. I can get rid of this coloring now, I believe. So let's see. So neither of these things is 5. Let's see. Neither of these things is 5 either. That's not a 9. So because that's not a 9 on the tip, that means that's not an 8. That's not a 7. That's not a 6. It's not a 5. And because this isn't a 1, that means this isn't a 2. This isn't a 3. This isn't a 4. And this isn't a 5. Okay. This can't be a 4 anymore because that can only be 3 or 4. So that would be no value. If that worked out that way. I have some slight asymmetry here, so I've surely missed something because the puzzle is 100% symmetric, right? Yes, this can't be 3. I agree with that. So why is it that this can still be 7? Oh, this can't really still be 7 is the point. Because the point is that's the thing I missed. As soon as this is 6 or 7, this can't be 6 anymore. And as soon as this is 7 or 8, this can't be 7 anymore. Okay, so that starts to look a little bit more symmetric. Oh, they aren't actually symmetric? They sure look symmetric. Yeah, you're right. It's this box. This box kinks slightly differently. Yeah, I see it now. Okay, so yeah, so the I see a bunch of people telling me I have I have triples in places that I don't have any digits filled in. I do see I have a 6, 7, 8 triple here that I believe. So if I ask where 1 and 2 go in this row, they can only go over here. Sadly, 4 can go there. Yes. Okay, this is a naked single. Got it. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, or 8. So this is a naked single 9. Agree. Let's see. There's a 5 and a 6 up here. Yeah, I was looking at that. What can this cell be? It's not 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this cell is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that gets David the triple that David was looking for. Because now that's a that's a quintuple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that makes these 7, 8, 9. And now the fact that that's 1, 2, 4, 5, does that tell me anything? If this is 4 or 5, does it really work? Or does it break this? I think it still works. As best I can tell. I do see that if this is a 2, then the 2 has to go there in this box. see. I've got a lot of 6, 7, 8, 9 over here. But sadly, that one's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Would be nice if I knew one of these cells couldn't be 1, 2, 3, but I don't think I do. Screaming Ice Cube points out this cell I can catch up as well because I know where it goes in box 4, which is there. So this cell is always a 2 or a 3. Yeah, and so Selena points out we can do exactly the same thing over here, making this a 7, 8. Oh yeah, we can make one of these circles mustard. That's a good idea. We'll make that circle mustard. Oh, are we just doing that's wrong. So it's gonna be 4 or 5. It can't be 6. And it can't be 7 or 8. Yeah. Okay, it can't be 9. Yeah, so this is a 4 or 5. I agree. Let's see. Oh, ketchup circle isn't 3, right? We do know that. And mustard circle isn't 7. We know that. Oh, so don't we know that mustard circle goes here? There's nowhere else for mustard circle to go that I'm missing, is there? I don't think so. And so likewise, ketchup circle goes here. Ooh, boy, brain. Let's see. You will get to see a video, by the way, one of the Sudoku topology videos of me when my brain is like not working at all, when I haven't yet realized that I have the flu, and that is why my brain isn't working at all. So you can look forward to that. You sadly won't get to see the video of me working on a puzzle for an hour before realizing it's broken, but you'll still get to see plenty of videos of me me slowly losing my mind. Yes, there's a quadruple here, David points out. So this is 1, 2, 3. The 5 in this column is definitely in one of these cells, for what it's worth. Same thing in box 8. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is a 7, 8, 9 is all you're saying. 7, 8, 9 is going to go in one of these places. Yeah, working through them by layout seems smart. Although there are some layouts that I will admit I just hate. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so that's very clever. So this sees... Okay, it's still clever, but it's not quite what I thought. I thought you were using the fact that like this sees that pair and that, but of course it just sees a triple in the row, and it sees a 7, 8, and 9 in the column. So this is always 4, 5, or 6. Hey, Tallcat, how are you doing? Well, there are a lot of short ones coming up too. In addition to the occasional Zeta gets completely thrown off puzzle. Uh, let's see. We've got this sort of like, if this isn't a 5, then these are a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. One of these is green X. Oh, overnight flights, extra fun. One of these two is 9. I will say one of the YouTube comments definitely saved me on the like third puzzle I did on one of the grids, because someone pointed out that there was a set thing that I had missed on one of the grids that was incredibly helpful for the next puzzle I did on that grid. There's definitely a 3 and a 4 in here. Let's see. Yeah, so this 1, 2, 3 triple looking into box 6 is very interesting, because if that isn't a 3, then the 1, 2, 3 triple has to go exactly there. Which would put 8 and 9 down here, of course, but that seems to be getting a little too desperate for my standards. But yeah, like if this is a 3, then these are a 1, 2, 3 triple, but I don't know that it does anything. See, Selena says it isn't 3. Why not? Okay, because one of those things is 6 and you looked ahead a bunch. Okay, excellent, excellent. It's okay. My brain isn't working at all today, so no judgment here. Okay, yeah. I see your point, D-Web, of 2 in this box is in one of these two. Sorry, is in one of yeah. So 2 in this box is in one of these 3 places. If either of these two is 2, then that's not 2, so it means that this is 3. And on the other hand, if this is 2, then you get a 1, 2, 3 triple, and this is not 3. So in no universe is this 3, is D-Web's point. I think I think it works forwards if you look at the locations for 3 in box 2. I agree it's somewhat complicated. So that means this is a 6. And that's a 7, and that's an 8, and that's a 9. Like that. Oops. Those aren't both 9. I regret to tell you now this is a 6. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Apparently. Okay. And then we hit the mark button, and then the puzzle's done. Presumably. Let's see. Maybe I was slightly ambitious. Can't be that far off, though. Ah, yeah, there's a 6, 7, 8 there. So that's a 9. Those are a 4, 5 pair, so that's a 3. That's a 2, 4 pair, so that's a 1. Let's see, 6 in column 1, yes, is there. Agree, sorry. 6 is there. 4, 5 pair in row 3, right? So this isn't 4, 5, that's not 5. So these are a 1, 2 pair, so that makes that a 4, and that a 5, and that a 4, and that a 5. None of these are 1 or 2. Those are all not 4. That's not a 5. These aren't 4 or 5. These aren't 5. That one's not a 4. That one's not a 4 either. That's a 1, 2 pair in this column. So that's not a 2. That's not a 1 or a 2. That seems to be the only location for 9 in the column. So that is a 4, 2, 4. 3, 2, 1. 1, 6, 3, 9, 5. Let's see. These aren't 3. That's not a 1. That's not a 9. That's not a 6. It's a 7, 8 pair, so that's a 1. Means that is not a 1. There's a 7, 8 pair in row 1. Let's see. There's a 7, 8 pair in column 9, so that's a 3. Which gives me a 2 and a 4 and a 1 and a 3. It gives me a 2 there and a 1 there. 7, 3, 8, 2, 8, 7, 4. I thought it was going to be all singles when I clicked the mark button, but then it wasn't, and I felt too lazy to undo it. Very nice. That is quite impressive as a puzzle, because it's like almost 100% symmetric. The only symmetry is that the way that this kinks through the box is, yeah, I guess that piece in box 5 is slightly there. Yeah. Alrighty, I think I've probably got one puzzle in me, more puzzle in me, but I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. Selena is threatening me with a, quote, really good Windoku. I don't think those words go together. I feel like at absolute best, a Windoku can be competent. Okay, so we have here a modular lines killer puzzle. So the killer cages give the sum of the digits in them. Technically, they can't repeat, but I don't think we're at much risk of that. And the modular lines need to go so that any two things that are, every string of 3 has to be a different thing mod 3. So basically a different column of your keypad if you want. So entropic lines are rows of your number pad, and modular lines are columns of your number pad. So basically it's the same constraint but rotated 90 degrees. So I think Tristan will update it, yes. So we've got a couple that are forced. Maybe this is the only one that's forced, actually. The thing I saw was this row. Like, I know that, not quite. If I had one more along this line, I would know something about this. Yeah, someday someone will do a puzzle with both modular lines and entropic lines, except it will be you have to determine the layout of the keypad for it. So you have to decide what the rows are and what the columns are completely from scratch. That would probably be fun if it was done correctly. Yeah. So here we go. So these two. So any 3 consecutive lines along a modular line, you can convince yourself sum to a multiple of 3. So that means that these two sum to 1 less than a multiple of 3. So this has to be a 1, 4, or 7. I did do a very cool mod 4 lines puzzle from missing a few cards. So the cool thing about that I see now is that now 1, 7 is not an option for the 8 cages anymore, because then I would not have enough digits. So now these are 2, 6, and 3, 5, which is very clever. And this is also 1, 4, or 7. And it probably isn't a 1 unless I'm planning to make that a 12. Let's see. So this 7 cage certainly can't be 2, 5 because it would break both options. So this is either 1, 6 or 3, 4. How do these relate? These two need to be the same modularity. Which is also the same modularity as this. Oh, I know the modularity of this. Because this is 1 mod 3 and 13 is 1 mod 3. So this needs to be a 3 mod 3 thing. So this is a 6 or a 9, which means actually this is a 3 or a 6, making that a 1 or a 4. And this is a 3 or a 6, making that a 2 or a 5. For what that is worth. Okay, so now, okay, so that 1, 4 I can propagate down here to being a 1 or a 4. And so now this is a 5 or an 8. Oh, sorry. 1, 5, or 1, 4, or 7. I don't know why I thought it was that. Yeah, the 1, 4, or 7. So this is a 2, 5, or 8. Which means that's also a 2, 5, or 8. this. Yeah, I can trickle this down. So yeah, so this is 258. And so this needs to be 147, which means that that is 147, and which means that that is a 3, and that's a 1, and we get to bring out Zach for the 3 dance. Boop-a-doop, woo! Boop-a-doop, wah! Boop-a-doop, wee! Boop-a-doop, 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 wah! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Okay, so we've got that all set up. And so now one of these two is 1, which means that one of these two is 8, which means that cell's not 8 at the very least. The modularity of this cell is known now, because if you look at, in fact, this row is just missing 6 and 9, which have to go there and there. So we can work back up. So this is a 3, 6, or 9. This is a 3, 6, or 9. Like that. So that means these are 1, 4, or 7, because that's the other kind. Except this one now, oh, this one's not 1. This one's not 4. These are 1, 4, 7 as well. That one's still not 1. Could probably get away with being 7, 8 if it really wanted to. Okay, so now that's 2 1, 4, 7s. Where's the other 1, 4, 7 in the row? 7 column 9 is wrong. Oh, darn it, I had a very cool deduction, too, that is completely ruined by the fact that that's not actually how the puzzle works. But aside from that, there was a really cool deduction that had to be a 1, 4, or 7 that I was very excited about. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. If I actually fill in the 8 cage, yes, then that is very good. So, except for this cell, so yeah, funnily enough, the deduction I was trying to make incorrectly actually does work. So yes, every cell on this modular line except for this one, there's 2 of in the row, but there's only 1 1, 4, 7 left. So therefore, this is a 4, which makes that a 7 and a 6. This is not a 7. That's not a 6. If that's not a 6, that's not a 2. Yes, and now this can't be 6, 8. So now this has to be 5, 9. So one of these is a 1 or a 7. These two are the same modularity. Yes. Thank you. This modular line, that thing needs to be a 1, 4, or a 7, but 1 and 7 are already placed in the box, so it's a 4. Which means that's not a 4, so that's not a 5. So now this is not 3, 4, so it's 1, 6, or 2, 5, except that one's not a 5, so that one's not a 2, and this one's not a 1, so that one's not a 6. For what it is worth. Yeah, so the 6 cage, therefore, Jay points out, has to be 2, 5, or sorry, 2, 5. 2, 5 sounds like a very bad option. Has to be 2, 4, because if the 6 cage was 1, 5, we would make this a 1, If the 6 cage was 1, 5, we would make this a 2, 6, 7 cage, which doesn't work. So this has to be 2, 4, and we know the order. 2, 4, 1, 6. Okay, and so now this can't be a 5 because we already have a 2, 5, 8. So this is a 9 and a 5. Okay, and so this is a 7. It's the only thing that it can be. It's not a 7. That's not a 2. Apologies to Jay Dyer for not using her beautiful argument about how this 18 cage had to have one of each modularity, but my brain didn't feel capable of explaining it coherently. So I just hoped that if I waited long enough, it would pass. Okay, so that is a 3 and a 5. So that's a 6 and a 2. So that gives me lots of propagation. So that is a 9 and a 6. That is a 6 and a 1. That's a 4 and an 8. So that's a 2 and a 7. Uh-oh. I broke it. It probably is related to my 4, 8, 9 cage. I'm going to suspect that the 4 and 8, 9 cage is probably not correct. Let's back up and see why I decided that the 4, 8, 9 cage was there. Okay. Oh, hey, Missing. I hope you're doing well. This is a 1 and this is a 4. So then I said, of course, if one of the two cells in a 2-cell 9 cage is a 4, the other one is an 8. That's why the puzzle broke. Okay, so that's a 5. How about that? So now let's see. That's a 7 and a 2. That's a 1 and an 8. 5 and 6 and 9 and 1. This puzzle has made me, by the way, Missing, want to make a puzzle where I always explain it as entropic lines are rows of a keypad and modular lines are columns of a keypad. I now want to make a puzzle with entropic and modular lines, except that you have to decide what the keypad looks like. It seems like it would be fun. I do agree that, like, I generally say I think modular lines are, like, one of the, like, garbage tier mechanics, but specifically modular lines with killer can use lots of very cool things. So I'm willing to forgive the use of modular lines in the case of a killer puzzle. One of these two cells is a 1 or a 4. Let's see. Row 8, column 2 sees many things, I am being informed. How about this? Okay, so this is only a 3 or a 9, apparently. Oh. I knew it was a 3 or a 9 because it was next to a 6 on a modular line. So this is a 2, 5, or 8, and it is not a 5 or an 8. So this is a 2. Let's see. We've got our 1, 4, 7 triple. So this is 3, 6, or 9, and it's not 6 for at least 2 reasons. So that's the 6. This is a 3 or a 9. Oh, and apparently it's not a 3. I see. Yes, it is not a 3 by Svenage. So that's a 9 and that's a 3, which makes that an 8 and that a 9. These two need to sum to 11. So 2 and 9 isn't going to work because there's a 9 in the box. 5 and 6 seems plausible. And 8 and 3 seems plausible. And so this I know is also a 3 or a 6. Oops. By modularity. I guess I could have done that just by using the modularity of the 18. But the point is now this isn't a 6 either, so it's a 3. 6. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen modular lines with arrows. Modular lines with arrows is interesting. Let's see. Can I solve for x here? Let's see. Those are 13, so that's a 5. I would try that if that were a thing that existed. Okay, so this is the other one. It's not 147 and it's not 369. So this is a 2, 5, or 8, and it's not a 2. And Sven will tell me the other thing it's not is a 5. So it's an 8, which has made that a 2. Always a black dot. Yeah, you got to do it with a black dot. Let's see. So that is a 1 and a 2. I don't think you necessarily, by the way, need to disambiguate rows and columns. I think the person just needs to know what the 3x3 grid looks like up to the symmetries. And I think the symmetry group is some sort of semi-direct product of S3 with S3 and the S3 cross S3 and the cyclic group of order 2. So I think there are lots of things the keypad could look like that would not change the way the lines worked, and I think that would be okay. This is a semi-direct product? I think it's actually a direct product. I guess a direct product is a semi-direct product. But anyway, these cells might be known. That is an 8 and a 2. But yeah, generally, I'm of the opinion that if the symmetry doesn't matter, you don't have to resolve it. So like yin-yang puzzles, I think most of the time it's better if you just don't resolve the which thing is shaded and which thing is unshaded. This is an 8. Because it needs to be a 2, 5, or 8, and even I can see that it's not a 2 or a 5. Let's see. I'm being encouraged to mark these cells and see that that is an 8 and that is a 7. So that's a 4 and that's a 1. And we can chase this around the world. Let's see. The 7 here. So this is a 1 or a 4. I seem to not actually know which one it is. This is a 5 or an 8. Oh, it's a 5. There we go. Oh, this seems to be a 3, 6, or 9. It seems to only be 3 or 9. Oh, Sudoku on 1s. Always good to keep up with the Sudoku. Places a 1 there, even without anything. Let's see. This is a 2, 5, or 8 as well, and it's an 8. Let's see. Can maybe fill in those. So that is a 3, and that's a 9. Let's see. That is a 5, a 6, and a 7. And I think I can mark the rest of the grid without any disasters. 9, 5, 8, 4, 3, 7, 3, 7, 9, 1, 8, 3, 4, 2, 5, 9, 7, and 3. Alrighty. That was very nice. Okay, I can probably do one more puzzle. And then I think I'm going to call it because my voice is being slightly hurt by talking. My brain seems to be working better than I estimated, but my voice is working worse than I estimated. But we'll do one more. Let's see. So let's turn the keypad 90 degrees, and let's do an entropic lines puzzle. So we have here James Sinclair puzzle. Yeah, happily. That was very nice, Missing. That was exactly what I was hoping it would be from the thing. Let's see. We could do one more, and then I will call that good. Okay, so fortunately, oh no, there's no bone theme. The beaker bone. Fortunately, tomorrow I'm just giving a final, so I don't have to talk tomorrow. At least not much. I just have to debate at what point it becomes awkward to wish each student a good break as they leave. Okay, so we've got a thermo from earlier. We've got a weird-looking Renbon that says that these two form a series of consecutive digits in any order. And we have our entropic line where we need, from every three things, need to have a high, a middle, and a low. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and color this just to start with, because there's only one line, so it seems probably worth coloring. It looks like I even colored it correctly on the first try, which essentially never happens. Okay, so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long thermo. So if I write the minimum, it would be this. And if I write the maximum, it would be this. It's 5, 4, 3, and then just fill in the middle. Okay. So, funnily enough, I guess I could have colored these instead, because I could say I know this digit is high, I know this digit is middling, and I know this digit is low. Let's see. Would I have rather done that? I mean, it seems not coincidental that we have these two cells that we know the entropy. This isn't a global entropy puzzle, and I missed it when I read the rules or anything like that, right? No, okay. So like the interesting thing is, like, a white dot will usually preserve the modularity, but won't always. So I guess I know that one of these three is high, I guess is all I know. You're saying it breaks if these are both low, so neither of those is low? Is that what you're saying, D-Web? If yellow is low, that's definitely a 4. I can say that. See, I'm trying to understand Todd's point. This isn't... Oh! Wow, yeah. Okay, yes. This is not a 3, because if it was a 3, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. If this is a 3, this would go 3, 2, 1, and these 3 cells, which contain a 1, 2, 3 in them somewhere, would have no place to put the 1, 2, 3. So this isn't a 3, which then sort of percolates up, meaning this isn't a 4 and this isn't a 5. But now this isn't a 7 either. That is quite nice, because now this just is a 6, right? Because if this is a 7, oh, sorry, I didn't actually finish my percolation. So this isn't actually a 7, because then that would create the same problem. So this is a 6. That's gorgeous. All right, let us bring out Zach for the 60 dance. Children, avert your eyes. It's slightly PG-13. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop boop ba doop. Whoop 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 whoop. Boop boo doop ba doop boo doop boo doop boop boo doop boo. Waha! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. 60 as always. Okay, so that percolates backwards. Okay, oh, and so now that's not a 3. Okay, so now this is high. And now this is low. And so now I know that yellow is not low, because we've got a virtual low triple here. So yellow is not low from this row, but from this column, I get that yellow is not high because one of these is a 7, 8, 9, making a virtual triple. So yellow is midly, which is convenient because I usually make yellow midly anyway. So this digit is now a naked 4. This digit is a naked 6. It's not a 6. It's not a 4. Okay, and these digits are a yellow purple. Sorry, no, they're a one of them. Actually, this cell has to be yellow, doesn't it? Oh no, sorry, that's not true. Don't listen to me. I do know one of these is a 2 for whatever it's worth. Oh, right. Of course this cell is yellow because it sees the... Sorry, I was trying to do it backwards. It sees the high triple in the column and it sees the low triple in the row. So if it's not either other thing, then it's definitely yellow. And so that means these are both high. Because we've used all the yellows and all the lows. And these are both low because we've used all the highs and thingy thing. Oh, and it's a 5. Very good. Yes, it's a 5. Because it sees 4 and 6. So that's a 4 and that's a 6. Right. This has to be... Purple has to be high now because this isn't yellow. And yellow is the only thing that could border high. So this is purple and purple is high. And similarly, now green is low. So let me make purple orange as God intended, and green blue as God intended. So that's not an 8, just for the record. These I can blue. These I can orange. Yes, we can also bonus green the 5s. Okay. Because there's a 4 there, this cell's definitely blue. Oh, this is orange and that's blue, correct? Because that's a 6, this is also orange. Oh, these are orange. Thank you. These are blue. There's a 4 in the box, so that's blue. Right. Because this is a low dot, one of them is 2, and it's not the one that's in a row with a 2, Martin points out. So that one's a 2. So that's not a 2. We know one of those is a 2. We know this isn't a 2. And so this is a 4. Because it can't be a 2 because there's already a 2 in the row. So that's a 3. That's a 1. Oh, yeah, we know one of these is an 8. It's being pointed out I can reflect that. So that's an 8. And so now this can't be orange because I have an 8 looking at this white dot in both cells. So this has to be yellow, and so it's a 6, which makes that a 7, which makes that a 9. This is a 7 or a 9, I suppose. The 6 is placed in box 7. Very good. So this cell's orange because it sees every blue and every yellow. The only yellow it doesn't see in the row is 5, but it sees it in the column. I don't know why. That will always be like one of the deductions styles that tickles me the most. Let's see. Yes. One of these two is a 2, and one of these two is a 2. So that's our classic Zach wing on 2s. So you ask where the 2 is in column 4, and it's ruled out of these 2 boxes. And so the 2 in column 4 has to be in one of these cells, except that means that it is there by our other pencil marks, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 1, makes that a 3. Yes, this is orange because it sees a 6. So one of these is 8, and we get to do the same logic, where we've now got the 8s in these 2 rows, meaning that the 8 in row 4 is in one of these cells, and it can only actually go there. Very good. This is a naked 2, because it sees 1 and 3 is being pointed out. So that is a 2, and that's a 1. That does work with the thermo. It's being pointed out. So that's a 7. That's a 9. That's a 7. That's an 8 and a 7. And so now that's an 8 and a 9. Let's see. I can mark those. So this is a naked 5, apparently. 1, 2, 3. Yep, it sure is. So one of these 2 is a 5. Yep, this sure sees every high and every low. So this is a yellow, strictly not green. It's a yellow 4, 6. Oh, I'm being told this is naked. Let me fill these in as well. Yes, this is also a 5. Yeah, 5 somehow not in the middle of the puzzle. One of these 2 cells is a 7, for whatever that is worth. These 2 cells, they could both be orange. They can't both be blue. Okay, so yeah, I guess, there's a couple options, because if this is orange, then that's orange. So if it's orange, it's an 8. Otherwise, it's not orange. It's probably not the right thing for me to attempt to dissect at the moment. It's 5 in box 7. It's in one of those 2 cells. And it's not here, because that can't be a 4 or a 6. So the 5 is here. So this is now a naked orange because it sees 1, 2, and 3. So now I know there's not an orange on here. And so if I put an orange on here, I'd need to have 2 oranges. And so now this cell's a naked, not yellow. So by that, it's only blue. And this can't be a 2, so it's got to be the yellow 4. So that's a 4 by Sudoku, just by asking where does 4 go in box 8. So that's a 4 by Sudoku by asking where it goes in box 5. One of those 2 is the last 4, and one of those 2 is the last 4. There's a what in this row somewhere. Apparently, when I marked that one of these 2 is the last 4, apparently that was not correct, because it's actually one of these 2 that's the last 4. I'm told I can just do a markings on this box and it will work out. So that will be blue, that will be orange, and that will be yellow. So these will be double orange. And that will be yellow. This one's actually yellow-green if I fill it in. Let me fill those in as 7, 8, 9. That one's the 7. These are an 8, 9 pair. Five in box 9. Yes, 5 in box 9 is here. Agree. Oh, box 7 needs a 7. True. Which gives us these. These are an 8, 9 pair. This is a 1. This is an orange. It's an 8 or a 9. This is a 1 or a 3, but I don't know which one yet. Let me paint these with pencil marks as well. So this one's a naked blue, which means that this is a 5. The rest of column 1 is blue. That's true, which makes that a 3. Which makes that orange and blue. These are a 1, 2 pair. There's only one 5 left in the grid, I'm being told, and it seems to go there. So there are no blues in those cells. So these 2 cells are both blue, huh? Because where are the 3 blues in row 2 is the way to see it. And so those 2 cells aren't blue. So these are both blue, which means that that's not a 4, and that is a 4. And so this is also blue because there's no 4 available. That's a 4. This is an orange, which is a 7. Let's see, there's a 2 in here somewhere. Impossible to say where, really. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, so this is a none 2 blue because we know the 2's on the dot. And so that makes that a 1 is Martin's point. So that's huge. So now that makes that a 3 and a 2, a 1 and a 3. Makes that a yellow and a blue. This is a naked yellow. In fact, it's a naked 6 even. So these are both oranges. And that's a 9 and a 7 by good old-fashioned Sudoku. And now we can mark the rest of the grid. So Mark says these are blue. Sorry, I was hoping for a Simon button that would color it for me. These are orange, and that's yellow. And so we can get a 6, an 8, a 9, a 1, a 2, an 8, a 9, a 9, an 8, and an 8 and a 9. Very nice. I really loved the, this can't be 1, 2, 3 because of that. Because it would break the entropic line. That is one of my favorite little, like, gentle but very cute break-in ideas for an entropic line. Like, probably my favorite entropic-related step I've ever seen in a puzzle, to say, of course, you can't make this a 3 because it would rule it off of this with that sort of slanty line. Very cool. Alrighty, well, short stream today. We should be back. I think Tristan is planning to stream on Tuesday, and then I should be back next Sunday. So hope to see you all real soon. Sorry the stream is short, but thank you as always for your support and encouragement. We greatly appreciate it. For a brief moment, the temperature and the number of viewers was the same. All right, but thank you, everyone. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you could give the stream a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. If you want to support the stream, you can always do that by clicking the dollar bill icon in YouTube, which will work you through the YouTube, as it turns out, wants to give you every possible way on the planet to give them money. And I guess they don't really care about it, but indirectly also gives me money. So they're very happy to help with that. But anyway, thanks to everyone. Last but not least, thanks to the Turbines, Daniel, David, Franco, Nell, Nordia, and Plonk Time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.